What do you get for a $60 action cam? Let's find out. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, and thanks for stopping by. Hey, today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Icefox 4K action cam, and it does only cost 60 bucks. And so I was kind of intrigued by that. Like, what kind of an action cam that shoots in 4K, let alone, what do you get for 60 bucks? So let's take a closer look. So this is the box that it comes with. And there's quite a bit of stuff inside of it, which is really surprising. So let's take a look at this. Let's unbox this. You do get some instructions, you get a warranty card, and then you have this box of all different types of accessories for it. And we'll open that in just a bit. But let's take a look at the camera itself. Kind of looks like your typical action cam GoPro style. It does have the GoPro type mounts. It does come with 2 batteries, so there's one already inside and then there's one here. So that's really nice that you get 2 batteries in this kit. And this is supposed to be waterproof up to about 98 feet if you use the case. So if you have any GoPro accessories, all of that stuff should work fine with this camera. But let's take a look at it. So we'll get it out of the case here. And the first thing I noticed about this camera is that it's really light. Like, this thing is very light. I'll see if I can put the weight up on the screen, but the battery is pretty light. The camera itself is light, and it's just, you know, if you have this mounted on your helmet, you're not really gonna notice it because, you know, I have, like, you know, I've used GoPros before. I currently use the DJI Action 5 Pro, and those things are big and they're heavy. And if you have that on a helmet, you definitely are gonna feel it. So this is really light. What I also noticed though is that there is no port or cover for the where you put the memory card and where you also connect it via USB-C. That's how you can charge it, but it also comes with a little battery kind of charger that you can connect 2 batteries, both batteries at the same time to kind of fast charge them. But yeah, looking at this by itself, I mean, it's very, very simple. You have a couple of buttons on the side. You have one button up on the top, and that's pretty much it. It does have a dual screen as well, one in the front and one in the back. All right, let's power this up and see how long it takes. You do have to hold the power button in for a few seconds, and then you'll see that screen, and then it'll come on. So it does take a little bit of time, but if you notice, the front screen does not come on, right? There's the back screen, but the front screen does not come on. And I thought something was wrong with the camera. When I first was checking this out, I had to reach out to Icefox to say, hey, do I have a defective camera? And they're like, oh, no, you just have to, there's a button here on the side. There's an M button for menu. And they say if you just hold that in, it should switch. There we go. So now we got a front-facing camera. So now I can kind of see myself if I want to do vlogging. But it's really interesting that, yeah, if I'm doing it to vlog, right, and then I turn it back around to see myself, I can't see anything, and I'm gonna have to like press that button again, and then in a few seconds it switches back around. So that is a little bit of a drawback because I would like just to have both screens on at the same time. I want to be able, if I'm going to vlog, I'm going to use this and talk to the camera and then turn it right back around. I don't want to have to press that button again, but that is a slight drawback on this camera. What I'm also noticing on this camera is that it kind of feels like these lenses, at least for the screens, the front screen definitely is plastic. You can kind of see, like, I don't know if it'll show better on this view, but you can kind of, if you press this, this presses down. The back is more of a solid, but I still think it's also plastic as well, right? So anyway, they got to keep the cost down somehow, right? Like, you can't have a $60 camera and then be having like you know, all kinds of glass and different things and expensive parts. You just definitely have to like keep the cost down somehow. Okay, so what else is kind of cool about this camera? I mean, it does shoot in 4K, and you have different modes, and there are ways to like, use the menu system, and then you can kind of select the different types of modes for shooting video. It also can shoot photos, I think up to 20 megapixels, and then it also has a burst mode and I think a time lapse mode as well. So you can kind of do some stuff with this camera that you can do like on a regular action cam, which is pretty cool. You do have to use this case though if you're going to be riding outside, let's say and maybe the weather is going to change and you're not sure. There is a microphone built in on this thing right here. I think it's right here on the side, but it's really small, right? So if this thing is inside the case, you're probably not going to get good audio from this. So when I ride, I'm not going to be using the case. I'm going to leave the case at home. And it does have like a mount that I'll show you that you can use for this. So let's kind of put this on the side. Let's now take a look at all of the different accessories that come with this camera. And it's impressive. I gotta say, like for a $60 camera, for them to give you this much stuff is pretty amazing. So you have some extra Velcro straps. You have zip ties and a cleaning cable. You have the USB-C cable as well that you're going to use for this. This is your charger. So where do the batteries go? Where's my second battery? Where did I put that other battery? Where is that other battery? Oh, here it is. Thought I lost the battery. So this thing fits in like this. You stick the other one in, and then you plug in the USB-C, and then you can get this charged and then not have to just plug it in straight to the camera. So that's pretty cool. And then you have different types of mounts. You got all these different types of like GoPro mounts. So if you've used an action cam before, these are all going to be very similar. So you'll see this one has adhesive. You can stick this on a flat surface and then use one of these other mounts to kind of like, connect it. Very similar to GoPro style stuff. You get different types of mounts. This one is interesting. I think this one is, what is this one for? I don't even know what oh, I know what this is for. This is for the back of the camera. You can swap this out, and I'm not sure why you have, I don't know what this one is for. This one's a little bit different. I don't know if you can kind of see that there's like, yeah, compared to this one, it has those notches, but kind of not sure what that's for. But you get that part of it. You also have one for that you can stick the camera in like this, and then you can kind of mount this to like a tripod or some sort of other type of clamp. This is how I'm going to use it today. I am actually going to use this neck mount, and this is separate. This one is, I bought this and I use this for the DJI, but I'm going to use this to kind of have it mounted like this so that I can wear this around my neck and then show everyone what I'm seeing. So we're going to be using this little case along with this neck mount today on the ride, so you guys can kind of see that. And then what else? So, handlebar mount. So if you want to use this and mount this on your handlebars, you have something to do that with. Like I said, lots of cool stuff in here that you wouldn't think you would get for 60 bucks. Here's another piece that I thought was really interesting, and it's a stop and start remote control. So basically you can wear this on your wrist and then set up your camera. Like let's say you want a shot of riding past it, right? I could put this on a rock or on the ground, and then I could right away hit the start button to start recording, run through my shot and stop it without me having to kind of come back to the bike and turn it off and on. So that's kind of a cool thing. So that's pretty neat. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of accessories that you get for 60 bucks. I'm still blown away by that price. But the real question is, what does this look like when you go out to film? And so that's what we're going to do next. We're going to take this outside. We're going to record some shots. I'm going to also record some stuff with just the internal microphone. There'll be times in which I'm using my Action 5 Pro to also film some stuff, and you'll hear better audio. That'll come from that, because that I'll be using a separate microphone like this to use. But I will record pieces of video in which we're using an internal mic so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so let's gather all this stuff up and let's go for a ride. All right, this is what it sounds like using the internal mic on this camera. We got a lot of wind today, and my guess is that the audio is going to be a little rough on this thing, because it is just, you know, there's no like windscreen or anything on this mic, or take that back, there's no windscreen on this camera to block out or muffle any of the sound from the wind. So let's see what this thing sounds like. Oh, nice. No traffic at that intersection, which is really good. So how is that sound coming through? I'm kind of worried about it, honestly. There's a lot of headwind and a lot of wind, and I'm wondering just how much you can actually hear me. So it'd be interesting to go back to the computer and see. I'm also wondering what this video is going to look like, because when I had it in the house, I was getting some really weird like color shifts, and I don't know if that's going to happen out here. But when I used it indoors, yeah, I would have like, the camera would try to like saturate the picture, and then it would unsaturate it, and I would just be holding it, not really moving it. So when I reached out to the guys at Icefox, they said that it does have something internally that is trying to, you know, make the picture look good. And they suggested being outdoors or having good light. So it's going to be interesting to see if we see any of that color shift here. So I know going in this direction, I'm going to get a lot of wind. This road is just notorious for the winds heading in the opposite direction. So when I head back, my guess is that it should be clear. Whew. All right. So heading in this direction now, all the winds coming this way, and the audio should be much, much clearer now without it coming straight at us. So you should see a noticeable improvement. And that just lets you know like what it sounds like, you know, against the wind versus with the wind. And I'm gonna let this first battery run as long as I can. I'm not gonna stop it, just to kind of see how many minutes I can get of continuous recording. It said I should be able to get 2 hours, but I don't know about that, like, because you know I can't even get my DJI Action 5 Pro to run for 2 hours, and that one has a bigger battery, and this camera is much improved over the last one, and the battery life on that one is the best that I've ever seen on an action camera. That one can easily go 90 minutes, if not a little bit more. I tested that out in Texas. And so, I don't know, maybe it's possible. Maybe the way that this camera is, you know, how they work this camera, and, you know, I don't know. We'll see. The front screen isn't on, and the back screen does turn off after a while. So it's probably saving some battery life there, but let's see what happens. I'm gonna actually cut into the farm, and I can maybe try and test out this guy. So this is the start and stop. So I guess I will have to turn it off, won't I? But only for a little while. I mean, I'll leave the camera on the whole time. I won't turn off the camera. So the camera will always be on. And we'll see how that affects the battery life. Uh-oh. It looks a little overgrown with all the rain we got. Not too bad. Let's see what this section kind of looks like. Yeah, this stuff can get pretty bad when it's just left to grow. Like, it's been this high and way over the path where you're like squeezing to get in between. Okay, let's try this. Okay, is it still recording? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna place it here on this post, and then I'm gonna press. This is kind of impossible, but I'm gonna press. Let's see if it works from that far away, and let's see if it recorded. Okay, I think that was too far. Yeah, it did not record. So let's see how far we can go. I don't think you can go. I think maybe I was way too far on that. Let's try this. And I gotta press this button, sorry. Did that work? Nope. That did not work either. Interesting. How far can I go then? Let's try this. And it shut off. Nope, still did not work. Okay, it just worked. So I'm not sure how far this thing can work because I was here. Okay, this is only like, I don't know, how many feet is that? And let's see if it works from here. It didn't. And if this thing is still going, yeah, it's still recording. I don't think it can go very far. So I'm not sure how good that is. But let's continue. So let's go through the farm and I'm going to show you the difference between this Pocket Osmo. Now this Pocket Osmo 3 is probably 10 times what this other camera is. So just kind of keep that in mind. I mean, you can buy the Pocket Osmo now for like $500, but when I bought it, it was like 6 or 7 when it first came out. So this guy is just 60. So kind of keep that in mind. Like when you see this footage, let me kind of bring that down a little bit. When you see this footage versus this footage, and I'm putting this camera about a foot in front of my mouth so you can kind of see, right? Oh, let me see if I don't want to crash this thing. I got two of the cameras side by side now, so you can kind of see what they both are like next to each other. All right. Okay. So this guy, again, $60, 4K. Let's see how this works, how this looks in a little lower light. We're gonna kind of go through these trees a little bit. We'll see how this looks. So yeah, again, keep this in mind. 10 times less for this camera versus what you're seeing on that camera. And it's still recording. So as you can see, it's still recording. It's not getting hot, which is good, because a lot of times what plagues these action cameras is that they get hot, and this one isn't. So that's pretty good. I just don't know what this footage is going to look like or sound like until I get back to my computer. What I'm gonna do is okay, let's try it this way. So Again, Pocket Osmo 3, 10 times what this guy is costing. How does this work? How does this look with the light behind me? Like that. And then what does it sound like with, because the only mic that you can use is on this device itself. So let's see. All right, let's put this back into this. All right. And then let's keep going. So again, there's Pocket Osmo. And then there's the Icefox. So you can kind of see the difference. All right. My thing paused me, but it's at least 26 minutes so far. All right, I wanted to show you. So if you want to use it in selfie mode, you have to, like, see how the screen isn't on? And that's the button you have to press, and you hold it and it's supposed to switch over. But because we're recording, it won't do that. So you're gonna have to stop recording and then hold that button in, and then it's supposed to switch. But so you gotta hold it for a couple of seconds. Oh, why is it going to switch into playback? I don't want playback. So this is the hard part. I just want to get back to video mode. Okay, so again, press and hold that side button. And there you go. Okay. But if you want to, like, turn it around to show something else in the front, look at the back screen's off. Right? So this only works when the camera is not on, or I shouldn't say on. It only works when it's not recording. So now I can, because I'm not recording, I can switch it back. Okay, now it's back. So that is kind of a drawback, because you're not able to do this, show you, and then turn it around if you want to, and then have the screens kind of switch. But I don't know if you guys can also see this. The battery is pretty full, which I'm amazed at. So this thing might be able to go like a full 2 hours. I don't know. There you go. Not bad. All right. So this thing has also an app that you can use. And if you go into the Wi-Fi, you can use that QR code, and then you're supposed to go into your phone and go into Wi-Fi, and then select the camera, and you're supposed to be able to see it. So when I was at home, I was having problems connecting the two, and let's see if I'm away from my own Wi-Fi, what happens. So is connect to camera, and then I want to, no, I don't want that, I want preview. So it's black. I don't know what the issue is, but I don't know, this app has been really buggy. I don't know what it is. If I go back to my settings, I am connected to it, but when I go here, it's just black. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I just haven't gotten this thing to work really good. So it does have an app, but it's a little buggy. So the camera is still black. Don't know why. I do notice that the camera did go down to half the battery, but let me see. Yeah, I lost the screen. I don't see anything on the screen. It's recording, but I don't know. Oh, well, it was recording. It stopped. I'm gonna just shut it off and turn it back on. Let's see. The camera's a little warm, but not super hot. All right, I got the screen back. All right, and it is about halfway with the battery. I don't know if you can kind of see that in the top right corner, but we've been out probably about an hour, and it's still going. So I'm gonna finish my ride. Let's make sure I was recording. Nope, not recording. Let's make it, okay, now I'm recording. There you go. So I'm gonna finish my ride and see how this goes. All right, so what are my thoughts on this Icefox 4K? It's not bad for 60 bucks. You know, like it shoots pretty decent video. Like I was kind of surprised actually at the video. The quality of the video was pretty good, and I was expecting it to be a lot worse, honestly. When I first set this up and was kind of playing around with this, I was having problems with, you know, the video kind of color shifting when I was indoors. Reached out to Icefox and they said, you know, use it outside, kind of see how it is. And they were right. Like using it outside in bright light, I think that's where you have to be for this camera to work. I would not use it indoors or maybe even at night. For sure not at night. If you need to do nighttime shooting, then you really need to invest in the Action 5 Pro or something similar to this. You know, for 60 bucks, it just doesn't have that in there, okay? Mic quality wasn't bad. If you don't have a lot of wind, I mean, obviously, you know, there's nothing kind of in the way of that microphone that's right there. And so any wind that hits that, you heard it on the video. But if you were in an area in which there's not a lot of wind, it actually didn't sound too bad. You can't hook any other microphone up to this in any other way. There's no Bluetooth way to connect to it. There's no like port on the side to connect to it. So you're stuck with using the internal mic. So that might be a deal breaker for some of you. I always feel like audio is more important than the video, because if the audio sounds bad, I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to watch it. If I can hear it really well and the picture is not as good, I can kind of let that go. But audio, so I don't know, for some people, audio, that might be a deal breaker. What else is good about this? It's really light and the battery is phenomenal. I used one battery, I filmed over an hour, and the thing only went down about halfway. And it comes with 2 batteries. So I think taking this out on a ride, you're not gonna have any problems capturing, you know, most rides. I mean, obviously if you're like a mountain biker and you're doing like crazy, like hours and hours and hours of stuff up in Whistler or something like that, this might not be the one for you, but it would certainly last for quite a bit of time. The only other thing that wasn't so great was the image stabilization. It's an electronic image stabilization, and what that means is it takes your video and it crops it, right? So it does crop in a little bit because it has to use that extra space to try to stabilize the footage. So you don't get exactly what they're saying in the field of view if you have image stabilization on. But you saw it wasn't as good as having a gimbal, of course, right? And I think I really should have compared it with this camera, but I just didn't have, I didn't bring this one. I don't know why I didn't bring this. I brought the Osmo Pocket, which has a gimbal on it. So of course that's going to be more stable. But even this by itself is way more stable than this one. And it, again, it's 60 bucks. So are these cons for 60 bucks? I don't know. Like if I paid 300 bucks, and those were the things that were wrong with this camera for 300 bucks, that would be a con. But for 60 bucks, I don't know if those things are I mean, it's 60 bucks. You're gonna get what you pay for. And for 60 bucks, it's actually not that bad. Not that bad at all. So, you know, the saying that we have in Hawaii, good enough, might be good enough for a lot of you out there. I don't know. Yeah, if you have a kid who wants to get involved with this, or if you're just wanting to start, and you don't want to invest in something like this, it has a ton of accessories. The extra battery, you can take it to the beach. There's a lot of good things about this. And there are some drawbacks for someone who's more professional that, yeah, they're not going to switch. So I don't think these guys are going to like take anything away from DJI or Insta360 or GoPro. They have their own market for this. And I think for what's out there for this price, this is a pretty good deal, I gotta say. All right, I'm not getting paid for this video. It's not sponsored. They did send me this camera for free. What I'm gonna do, because it's not gonna really fit for what I'm doing, I want to give this to one of you. So if you have, you know, a situation, maybe if it's your kid or you just want to start, you know, shooting, and you think you could use this camera, put your story in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know like how you would use this camera. And then what I'll do is I'll go through the comments and kind of choose the best one that I feel like would deserve it the most. And I'll send this to you. I'll pay for the shipping. I'll mail this out to you. I'm sure the guys at Icefox would be okay with it. Like I said, I'm not getting paid for this. I do have an affiliate link down below. If you want to buy one, it does support the channel, but it doesn't really matter for me if you buy one or not. I was just intrigued by this camera because I wanted to know what a $60 4K camera could do. And I found out, and it's actually not bad. So if you want this, again, drop a comment down below. Tell me how you would use this, why you should have it, and then we'll connect and I'll send this out to you. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Consider liking and subscribing. Let me know what you think about this camera down below, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one. Hey, until then, take care of one another, be safe, and aloha.